Wow, I've said this from the very first moment I decided to make content on YouTube. Competition between huge companies is the best possible outcome for every gamer. And that's exactly what's happening right now between Sony and Microsoft, who are gaming powerhouses across the industry. And as we know, the last year and a half has been very groundbreaking across all of gaming. We've seen Microsoft buy so many different studios trying to solidify their first-party developers as they gear up for next-generation consoles. And while those acquisitions have been amazing and great for Microsoft, they still haven't stopped talking to other developers about joining the Xbox game studios. But like so many other people have said, never sleep on Sony and their PlayStation gaming division. And boy oh boy were those people very right, because Sony has gone full Super Saiyan and bought Insomniac Games. That's right, Sony has bought the Spider-Man developer to join the PlayStation first-party family. This coming almost 1 year after Insomniac brought out their best game by far in Spider-Man. And I'm here to talk about what this means for the gaming industry, but also what does it mean for both Microsoft and Sony as companies. Because right now, this next year is shaping up to be one of the biggest changes we've seen in the gaming industry. So let's dive into this. But before I do that, please hit that subscribe button and that like button. All support is greatly appreciated. Alright, let's get into this, because this has to be the biggest news in gaming right now, and probably the biggest news in gaming we'll have for a little while. And this comes the same day that Gamescom is happening, which is just perfect storm for Sony. Right off the heels of Inside Xbox and showing that amazing Gears 5 campaign trailer, Sony drops a bomb on the gaming industry by saying they've acquired Insomniac Games. And while this happened very abruptly, it does make a lot of sense for both companies. These are the same developers that made Ratchet & Clank, Sunset Overdrive, and the very recent Spider-Man. This announcement came from the PlayStation Twitter, where they said this: big news, @Insomniac Games is joining PlayStation's worldwide studios. We are honored and thrilled to join forces with this legendary developer. Please join us in congratulating our friends and partners at Insomniac. Talk about a massive news drop on such a packed day. To me, Sony has stolen the entire Gamescom week with this amazing announcement, especially since a lot of companies have gone to Gamescom to showcase their upcoming games, which is what everyone has been waiting for. But now it would seem everyone will be turning away from that in order to process what's just happened with this new Sony studio. And while Insomniac has long worked with Sony for a number of exclusive games, it was still seen as a long shot for them to join the Sony PlayStation family, especially since they make games for other publishers, including Microsoft with Sunset Overdrive. And while their highest rated games have lived on the PlayStation consoles, they still are a very talented studio that anyone would love to have on their side. And Sony has locked them down and have joined an amazing first-party team that leads the entire gaming industry. And Insomniac, who is based in Burbank, California and Durham, North Carolina, have been an award-winning studio that almost seems like a perfect fit for Sony's first-party studios. Be it Ratchet & Clank or Resistance, Sony has worked well with Insomniac. And not only is Insomniac an amazing studio, but they have been known for being extremely collaborative workplace where they've earned rewards because of this. And this is exactly what Sony Interactive Entertainment thrives on, when all their studios come together and make amazing worlds and games that people can love. And Sean Layden seems to agree when he says this: Insomniac Games is one of the most highly acclaimed development studios in the industry, and their legacy of best-in-class storytelling and gameplay is unparalleled. We have enjoyed a strong collaborative partnership with the studio for many years and are thrilled to officially welcome them to the Worldwide Studios family. The addition of Insomniac Games to SIE Worldwide Studios reiterates our commitment to developing world-class gaming experiences that can only be found on the PlayStation platform. As Sean Layden has said before, he wants to create amazing AAA hardcore games for the PlayStation gamers that buy their console. Getting Insomniac does keep that promise to their gamers, because this is a very high quality studio that could compete with any studio out there, especially after Spider-Man, and having a great relationship with Sony has been there. So this fit does seem very easy for them. And that's exactly what Ted Price, Insomniac Games founder and CEO, says here. Joining the Worldwide Studios family gives Insomniac even greater opportunities to achieve our studio vision of making positive and lasting impressions on people's lives. We've enjoyed a special relationship with Sony, particularly since our inception. Our partnership amplifies our potential, and Marvel's Spider-Man was a testament to this. we're excited to take the next step in our growth alongside our longtime worldwide studios partners. Most of all, we look forward to delivering fresh, new experiences for our fans. Talk about two companies that seem like the perfect fit with each other. They seem to respect each other and most of all trust each other to provide the best possible outcome for both parties. This acquisition is going to go down as one of the biggest news items this entire year, because it's not every day a company like Sony or Microsoft acquire a huge AAA studio like this, because the cost is almost astronomical. But Sony knew what they had with this studio, and they knew they had to lock them down for the future, and that's exactly what they did, especially after Spider-Man sold over 13.2 million copies worldwide, which is one of the best-selling games on the PlayStation system, especially for an exclusive that probably did extremely well for PlayStation and Sony financially. Even I bought the Spider-Man PS4 Pro Limited Edition because I wanted to play Spider-Man and I wanted a PlayStation 4 system after so many years of not having one. And I have to say, playing all these exclusives has been a great experience and I've enjoyed my system. But the one game that always stood out to me was the Spider-Man game, because I'm such a huge comic book fan and I've always been drawn to that form of entertainment. And Insomniac Games to me captures the essence of Spider-Man in their game and really outdid themselves and evolved as a studio. And Sony was there every step of the way to see them become this powerhouse in the gaming industry. So I have to give them a lot of credit for realizing what was right in front of them and understanding they needed to invest in their studios even more. Especially since Microsoft, Google, and a bunch of other companies are coming into the gaming industry, which only makes competition that much more intense. And as gamers, we should be very happy to see all these companies battling for our dollar. So good job, Sony. You got one of the best independent studios out there and you locked them down forever. So I tip my hat to you. Good job. You actually made an amazing decision here, and your investment will be given back to you tenfold. Now let's see if Microsoft and Google battle back with their own studio acquisitions and maybe studio creations. But all I know is that Insomniac Games is one of the best studios anyone could have gotten, and Sony got them. But enough about what I think. Let me know what you think about this. Is this the biggest acquisition we've seen in years? Does this announcement surprise you? Is Spider-Man 2 happening sooner than we thought? Who do you want Xbox to acquire to battle this? Who do you think is the next studio Sony's going to buy? Go down below and let me know. And I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, please hit that subscribe button and that like button. Any support helps the channel out more than you know. And you can also follow me on Twitter at Zalker87. I'm always on there talking games and sharing my videos. Also, follow me on Mixer. The link will be in the description. I recently started streaming on Mixer because I find the community a lot more engaging and fun. So if you want to hang out and chat with me, I'm very active with my chat and always playing games. I'll hope to see you guys there. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember, enjoy your gaming. Later.